Breaking news tonight, another popular food chain now pulling produce over concerns of salmonella. Tex-Mex chain Qdoba removing jalapenos just hours after Chipotle took similar action. The case is now expanding to even more states. We'll tell you where. Plus, the popular vacation destination sounding the alarm over a stomach parasite possibly linked to lettuce. New details on the security threat at President Trump's golf club ahead of his visit, the guns they found, and what we're learning about the close call the president's helicopter had coming near a commercial plane. Deadly house explosion in Illinois community rocked by a fiery blast. Debris sent soaring. Nearby homes damaged. Plus, breaking right now, a New York City apartment building erupting in flames after a major explosion. The big win for progressives in the battle for the future of the Democratic Party. Why President Trump says it's good news for Republicans. Attack in Paradise. A little boy nearly mauled to death by dogs while he was on vacation in the Bahamas, airlifted back to the U.S. His parents speaking out about how he survived. Our series, The Cost of Denial, and the man who lost so much weight on a GLP-1 drug, his insurer said they no longer cover it because he's no longer overweight. Chilling doorbell video of a teen in a clown costume. Roaming an Illinois neighborhood, a man found stabbed to death moments after. Police rushing in to save a man swarmed by hundreds of bees. Singing icon Barry Manilow canceling his show just before stepping on stage. We'll tell you why. Nightly News starts right now.
This is NBC Nightly News with Tom Llamas.
And good evening. Great to be with you on this Wednesday. We begin tonight with that dangerous salmonella outbreak rapidly spreading to at least 27 states. And health officials now looking into a second Mexican restaurant chain. The outbreak sickening nearly 350 people, dozens of them now hospitalized. The restaurant chain Qdoba tonight saying it's proactively rushing to remove jalapenos from hundreds of its locations. This coming after Chipotle moved to pull the hot green pepper from thousands of its own restaurants. The illness is stretching all across the country. You see it right here, including hundreds of cases now in Minnesota and also tonight, Colorado. The outbreak, just the latest foodborne illness to hit Americans. A parasite linked to lettuce putting hundreds in the hospital and killing at least 2 people since May. Ann Thompson following all of this for us. She starts us off.
The issue of tainted jalapenos is much bigger than just Minnesota and Chipotle. Tonight, the CDC saying 27 states now reporting salmonella cases related to the peppers. Minnesota, Colorado, and Illinois topping the list. More than 300 people sickened, 36 hospitalized. Now another fast food chain, Qdoba, says it proactively removed jalapenos from its restaurants, saying food safety is our highest priority. Yesterday, Chipotle did the same after Minnesota officials traced many of their salmonella cases to a lot of peppers used by the chain. Chipotle said it replaced the suspect jalapenos with ones from different growers. How do peppers get salmonella?
Typically through a variety of ways, but most likely contaminated water that it's used to irrigate or come into contact with that food.
Unlike the lettuce-linked cyclosporiasis triggered by a parasite, salmonella is a bacteria that causes fever, stomach cramps, and diarrhea. Symptoms most people develop within 8 to 72 hours of eating the bad food. These high-profile outbreaks involving 3 popular fast food chains, Taco Bell for the lettuce, Chipotle and Qdoba for the jalapenos, have some concern about our nation's food supply.
We have to remind ourselves that our food supply is fairly safe, but things happen, accidents happen, and contamination certainly can happen at any point in the food supply.
All right, with that, Ann Thompson joins us now live. And I know you have another update, and it looks like there's a new sort of lettuce-linked outbreak involving a popular tourist destination in Mexico?
That's right. You remember the lettuce we were concerned with in this country was grown in Mexico. And now Mexican health authorities are testing water, vegetables, and fruit in Quintana Roo. That's the state that includes Cancun. They're testing those at 16 hotels where tourists got sick from cyclospora.
All right, people have to be really careful out there, and we thank you for that. We have new reporting tonight on the man arrested in that alarming security scare for President Trump. The suspect, a Marine veteran who had an arsenal of weapons. Here's Garrett Haig.
Tonight, new details about the man facing firearms charges following an alarming security scare outside President Trump's golf club near Los Angeles. Police arresting 39-year-old Janine John Teal over the weekend ahead of the president's visit after federal agents noted him appearing to take photos and videos of the club. Charging documents say a search of his car turned up a pistol and high-capacity magazine, and at his home, an assault rifle, body armor, and notebooks containing, quote, concerning statements. Tonight, a law enforcement official telling NBC News Teal is a disabled Marine veteran with significant PTSD and mental health issues. President Trump was asked about the arrest.
Well, the only thing I get a little solace from is they say only consequential presidents. And I am definitely consequential.
It comes after a disturbing series of assassination attempts against President Trump, including an armed suspect racing through a security checkpoint at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, a suspect arrested after hiding with a rifle while the president was golfing, and the campaign event in Butler where the president was shot. And tonight, new concerns after a close encounter between Marine One and a commercial airliner. You can see the American Airlines jet taking off. Moments later, the Marine choppers, one of them carrying the president. The FAA calling this a, quote, momentary loss of separation, saying it will review the incident, but that the president was never in any danger.
Garrett joins us now. Garrett, let's go back to that security scare for the president in California. I know you have some new reporting on that suspect.
Yeah, Tom, his first court appearance has yet to be scheduled, but his military record today shows 8 years of service in the Marines, including deployments to both Iraq and Afghanistan. Tom?
All right, Garrett Haig first. Garrett, we thank you for that. In Illinois, authorities tonight investigating what caused a home to explode in an instant, leveling it to the foundation and costing one man his life. Maggie Vespa has the images.
A deadly explosion in southern Illinois, tearing apart a home, catapulting pieces of it high into the air. The power of that blast, captured from multiple cameras nearby, absolutely decimating one house and damaging several others. It happened Tuesday evening in the small village of Energy.
House is gone all the way to the foundation.
I've never heard a sound like that in my entire life. Like, it was enormous, but it's like you could feel it in your body.
Cassandra Dan lives across the street.
When you walked out and saw your neighbor's home in pieces, what went through your mind?
Utter sadness. You knew that no one could survive that.
She immediately thought of her neighbor, 78-year-old Dave Turner. Authorities confirming today he did not survive.
He took a lot of pride in caring for his property and his neighbors, and it's very tragic.
The local sheriff telling me a second person was injured, adding the explosion appears to have been an accident.
We're investigating it from all aspects, but we do believe it's an accident, likely caused by a natural gas or propane type explosion.
Maggie Vespa, NBC News.
And we're also following a deadly explosion right here in New York in the Bronx at an apartment building. One person now confirmed dead and 15 more injured from a blast that blew the doors off and collapsed a part of an entire floor. 6 of the injured were firefighters. No word yet on what caused this blast. We want to turn out of politics and the big win for progressives in Michigan's high-stakes Senate race there. Part of a wave of primary victories for candidates backed by Democratic Socialists. Here's Shaquille Brewster.
Tonight, the latest big win for progressives in the battle for the future of the Democratic Party.
In the words of Muhammad Ali, we shook up the world.
Abdul El-Sayed overcoming record spending, dealing another major blow to the party's establishment. With NBC News projecting his narrow victory against moderate Congresswoman Haley Stevens in Michigan's bitter Senate primary, El-Sayed insisting he can now unite divided Democrats.
Sometimes, intra-family squabbles are the biggest ones. But we all know that when we walk out the house, we stand united.
Tonight, Stevens posting, "I spoke with Abdul a few moments ago to offer him my full support." But Stevens and other establishment Democrats had argued El-Sayed's views could be too liberal to win in November in a state President Trump won twice. El-Sayed is backed by top Democratic socialists and supports Medicare for all, abolishing ICE, and intensely criticizes Israel. He's also been criticized for campaigning with controversial left-wing podcaster Hassan Piker, who said America deserved the 9/11 terror attack. El-Sayed says he disagrees but would not disavow Piker's views. President Trump posting El-Sayed's nomination is great news for the Republican Party.
Abdul El-Sayed, lovely gentleman. He's a man of hate.
GOP nominee Mike Rogers hitting hard.
I have never seen someone so radical, so extreme, get nominated by a political party. The Democrat Party is lost to this hardcore socialist attitude.
But tonight, El-Sayed firing back.
My name is not raising your gas prices.
Accusing Rogers of using his Arabic name as a line of attack.
They think that you want to use my whole name against me. Mike, listen, man, if you can't say the name, it's Abdurrahman, keep the name out your damn mouth.
And Tom, similar fights between progressive and establishment-backed Democrats will play out next week in states like Minnesota and Wisconsin. Tom?
It'll be a heated race going into November. Okay, Shaq, we thank you for that. Next to a vacation nightmare, a family taking a trip to the Bahamas. Their 9-year-old son viciously attacked by a gang of dogs while he was playing on the beach. George Solis spoke with his parents, and a warning, some of the images are graphic.
Our son is alive because of every single person that has helped us up until this point.
Tonight, the parents of 9-year-old Bo Bratton, emotional yet resilient as their son recovers from a vicious dog attack in the Bahamas.
He was looking into my eyes, asking me if he was going to die.
Aliette Treyes and Michael Bratton have been at Bo's bedside after the July 28th attack during a family getaway at a popular tourist beach. The energetic and curious 9-year-old on the beach looking to collect sand for hermit crabs he had caught the night before when the family says a pack of dogs began their assault.
What do you remember hearing that morning when this happened?
It wasn't so much the hearing as it was the scene. I ran to him immediately, screaming his name at a pitch that I probably never had to use in my life.
This video capturing Bo on a stretcher as he was flown by the U.S. Coast Guard to Jackson Memorial Hospital in Miami. That's his father right there with him, telling him,
Bo, you know, keep your eyes open, buddy. Look at me, okay? I'm here with you.
The brutal attack left Bo with injuries to his limbs, face, neck, and the loss of a portion of his scalp. The severity has led to 3 surgeries so far. According to Bahamian authorities, a man has been arrested and charged in connection with the attack. Tonight, the family remains optimistic and grateful.
If there had been one thing that didn't go as planned from the moment of the incident to the moment of his arrival to the hospital, I don't know if we would be sitting here right now.
Bo has a lengthy and costly recovery ahead, and that suspect facing multiple charges, including negligently causing grievous harm. Tom?
We hope that little boy can recover from that vicious attack. George Solis for us on that one. When we return in 60 seconds, he lost 80 pounds taking Zepbound, but his insurance stopped covering it because he was no longer overweight. Plus, police rushing to save a man after he was attacked by a swarm of bees. We're back now with our series, The Cost of Denial. Tonight, Liz Kreutz on a hotly debated question. Should popular GLP-1 weight loss drugs be covered after the weight comes off?
It's improved my sleep. It's improved my energy.
For Sacramento Sheriff's Deputy William Meehan, the GLP-1 drug Zepbound changed just about everything. His sleep apnea is gone, and he's down from 250 pounds to 170.
My appetite just got to a level where I stopped thinking about food all the time, and I could just live normally.
But now William is caught up in the insurance industry's debate over whether and when to cover weight loss drugs. When he recently went to renew his prescription, he was told this.
You are denied because your current BMI is under 30. To be on this medication, your BMI has to be greater than 30.
Essentially, William's insurer, Sutter Health, which initially covered the Zepbound for sleep apnea, told him he no longer qualified because he'd lost so much weight, his body mass index was now too low.
30% BMI is around 200 pounds for me.
You feel like you're being encouraged to gain weight right now?
I do. By the way I interpret it is that Sutter Health wants me to be 200 pounds to stay on this medication, and I don't think that's anyone's recommendation.
It's something many people on GLP-1s are now facing when it comes to renewal.
It's a real challenge right now to keep the drug for maintenance. Yes.
Professor Lisa Kroon runs the Medication Outcome Center at UC San Francisco. She believes insurers should treat GLP-1s like maintenance drugs, the way they do blood pressure or cholesterol medications, but says the cost of these drugs, along with their exponential popularity, has led to a gray area in many health plans.
Can the insurance companies afford this, to pay for all of these people to have this drug for the rest of their lives?
That's the challenge. Some health plans had to increase the BMI to cover them just because they were costing millions, tens of millions of dollars to a large health plan.
Her advice, be persistent. That's exactly what William did.
Another denial.
He appealed and appealed again and finally turned to NBC News. Within weeks of us reaching out to Sutter Health to ask about his case, William received a notice that he was now approved.
I think the only reason that I was approved for this is because the cost of denial and NBC reached out and asked, what's going on? Why isn't he being approved?
But Sutter Health told us the prior denials were due to an administrative submission error on the part of William's doctor, who also works for Sutter Health, saying that the initial request was denied as submitted under the obstructive sleep apnea indication, while the subsequent request was approved under the separate weight management indication. We also reached out to William's doctor for clarification, but received no response. Sutter added that no exception was made for William, but also noted that his approval should not be interpreted as a universal policy applying to all Sutter members.
There might be people who are like, well, you've lost the weight, you've changed your lifestyle. Why do you need the drug anymore? Is it just for vanity reasons?
I don't view it as for vanity reasons. I think that this genuinely has improved my health. I don't want to go back to being heavier and unhealthier.
Liz joins us now. Liz, there are conflicting studies about weight gain when people get off GLP-1s.
Yeah, Tom, that's right. There's a real mix of data here. Some studies do show people gain the weight back if they go off these drugs, but also 3 recent studies now show as many as 70% of patients have been able to keep the weight off for up to 2 years. Tom?
Liz Kreutz for us. Liz, thank you. We're going to be back in a moment with this terrifying image. A teenager dressed as a clown arrested in connection with a deadly stabbing in that same neighborhood. That's next. We're back now with wild new police body cam video showing officers rushing into a swarm of bees to save a man's life. You can see him there struggling on the ground with officers lifting him into their vehicle while they all get swarmed and stung by those bees. We're told the man and the officers were treated at the hospital and are now recovering. Also tonight, terrifying video of a teen dressed as a clown peering into homes. You see him there looking into a doorbell camera saying, quote, "I have a gift for you." Later that night, police took that teen into custody in connection with the fatal stabbing of a 78-year-old man in East St. Louis, Illinois. And there's new concern for music icon Barry Manilow after he abruptly postponed his Lexington, Kentucky concert last night, minutes before the show, without providing more details. Manilow was diagnosed with lung cancer last December, forcing him to delay some shows while he underwent treatment. That's Nightly News for this Wednesday. I'm Tom Llamas. Thanks so much for watching. Tonight, and always, we're here for you. Good night. We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live on our YouTube channel.